practical integrator. So you see that is the previous integrator, non-inverting integrator circuit. This circuit having some drawback. One drawback, that is if the input level having any DC component, then you see for the DC component capacitor will behave as a open circuit. As a result, there is no input to output connection like this. This kind of connection is known as feedback connection. If the input having any DC component, then there will be this capacitor will be open for the DC component, and this will be open loop circuit. And we discussed previously that for the open loop op-amp, for slight input voltage change, output will saturate to either plus voltage plus maximum voltage plus saturation or minus saturation potential. So in this case, to avoid this kind of circumstances, we'll add one extra resistance, that is the feedback capacitor RF. Purpose of this RF is to provide negative feedback for the DC component at the input side. So if you have input DC component, then this will provide the negative feedback, and for the AC component, capacitor will provide the negative feedback to avoid the output saturation. Again, you can notice here an extra R, that is R comp, that is compensation resistance. Ideally, op-amp don't have any input current, but practical op-amps have some leakage currents, and due to this leakage current, there is some offset voltage. To nullify this offset voltage, we use R comp to nullify this effect of this input currents or offset potential at the output side. So for the DC component, you have gain minus RF by R1. As for DC, this capacitor is open circuited. So let me write these things. So if the input voltage have any DC component capacitor will be open circuited for that DC. Thus, there will be no feedback. So that means that there will be no feedback. That means whenever this is open circuited and you don't have this RF, this input and output don't have any connection. So that is written here. Thus there will be no feedback, and op-amp will saturate at either plus Vsat or minus Vsat. Plus Vsat and minus Vsat at the op-amp saturation voltage. To prevent this, RF is included for DC component feedback. And this kind of integrator is known as lossy integrator. That kind of integrator is known as lossy integrator. Due to this RF, the slope will not be uniform. That's why it is known as a lossy integrator. Now we will discuss the output potential for this case. This circuit is similar to the inverting amplifier circuit, and we know inverting amplifier gain is minus RF by R. So this RF here is replaced by this network. So we need to find the equivalent impedance of this network. Then this gain will be that impedance by R1. So this impedance will find in Laplace domain, that is ZEQ. It will be RF parallel with 1 by SCF. So we know capacitor can be replaced by 1 by SC, and here you have R. So that will be the equivalent impedance of this parallel network. And you can write it as RF into 1 by SCF by RF plus 1 by SCF, and it will be RF by 1 plus SCF RF. Now output potential, so V0 is represented in Laplace domain. Output can be represented by minus ZEQ by R1. So it will be into Vi. So output is minus RF by R1 into Vi. So RF is replaced by here ZEQ. It will be equals minus RF by R1 into 1 by SCF RF 1 plus into Vi. Or you can write it as minus 1 by, multiply both sides by R1 by RF. So it will be R1 by RF plus SCF. So if we multiply this part R1 by RF, it will be RF into R1 by RF Vi. Now you can see this expression is different from the previous integrator expression. Here you have Vi. In previous case, it was V0 equals, in previous case, if I write this in short, it was V0 equals minus 1 by RC Vi by S. It was the previous actual integrator case. So ideal inverting integrator expression was this one, and this expression is different. So you can easily see the difference. Now if I consider that RF is much greater than R1, then this part is almost negligible. So if I consider RF is very large, RF is very large and RF much greater than R1, then we can neglect this part compared with this. So it will be much less than 1. So RF by R1 much less than 1, and we can ignore this part, and V0 will be equals minus 1 by S R1 CF into Vi by S. Now you can see the similarity between this part and this part and this part. So you can easily write that output equals minus 1 by R1 CF 0 to T Vi dt. Obviously the capacitor is initially a discharge condition, and slope of the integration is minus 1 by R1 into CF. However, the previous analysis was the approximate analysis. In this case, we'll do more exact analysis, and what will be the frequency response of this output we'll discuss in this section. So that was the expression output equals minus RF by R. Actual expression was this, and you can, from this you can find the gain output by input of this integrator. So gain of this integrator A was A in bracket S, it is function of S, equals minus RF by R1 1 by 1 plus SCF RF. Now we know relation between Laplace and Fourier is whenever we put S is equal to j omega. Whenever we put S is equal to j omega, then you can find the frequency response. So A of j omega equals minus RF by R1 1 by 1 plus j omega CF RF. Absolute value of the A will be, absolute value of the gain will be if I take 20 log, what we are trying to do is we want to plot the frequency versus this amplitude, omega versus this one. Now in linear scale it will be difficult to plot, so we'll choose log scale in order to plot this. So we'll take the logarithm of this. So 20 log 10. Why we are taking 20? It is because A is the voltage gain, because A is the ratio of two voltages. So that's why we are taking 20. In case of power, it will be 10. So 20 log 10 of this, it will be equals, sorry, absolute value, there will be no minus, it will be plus 20 log or you can write 20 log 20 log RF by R1 minus 20 log root over 1 plus omega square CFS square RF square. So that is the expression we have. Now it will be difficult to plot directly with respect to omega. So we will consider a few cases of the omega and we will plot this accordingly. So we will take three cases. First we will consider that omega is very low, that is omega tends to 0. So that is the first case. So if omega is 0, log 1 will be 0. So gain will be 20 log, it will be, so that part is 0, it will be minus 20 log Rf by R1. So that is the first case. In second case, omega almost equals to 1 by Rf Cf, 1 by Rf into Cf. So if I replaced omega is 1 by Rf Cf, so this will be 1 by Rf square into Cf square, and this will be Rf square Cf square. So these two will cancel out, it will be root over 2. So in this case you have 20 log 10 20 log Rf by R1 minus 20 log 2. It will be root 2. And that part is equivalently it is 3. If we use calculator, then you can find 20 log root over 2 equals 3. So it is 20 log Rf by R1 minus 3. So that is the second. And third, we'll assume omega is very large, omega much greater than 1 by Rf Cf. So third case, in second case we have considered omega is 1 by Rf Cf, and in third case we will assume omega is much greater than 1 by Rf Cf. So as a result, you can see if omega is much greater than Rf Cf, then omega square Rf square Cf square much greater than 1. So in this case we can neglect this 1. As a result, the gain will be so it is root over omega square or Rf square Cf square. It is equivalent, it is equal to, if I omit this root, it will be omega Rf into Cf. So that's why it is omega Rf into Cf. Now if I plot this whole thing, if I consider this axis log omega and that axis is the absolute value of aj omega, 20 log 10, it is 20 log 10, that axis is, y axis is 20 log 10 a of j omega. Then you can see when omega is very low, consider the first case, omega tends to very low, so it will be close to here. it is 20 log Rf by R1, so it will be here, and it will be almost constant up to this omega is equal to 1 by Rf/Cf. So in this case you see it is 20 log Rf by R1 minus 3, so it will be 3 dB below. So it is 3 dB below, but still we'll consider this almost equal to this almost equal to 20 log Rf by R1. So this maximum value will be 20 log 10 Rf by R1, and that will be 1 by Rf/Cf. Up to this it will be constant. Close to this frequency the gain falls and falls like this, and you see from this it will fall at 20 dB per decade. So decade means per 10 multiplication of 10. So if this frequency is 1 kilohertz, then at 10 kilohertz it will be 20 dB below. So if I consider that is 20 dB, if it is 1 kilohertz it will be 10 kilohertz, because per decade there will be 20 dB decrease, and we are doing this from this expression. So that will be the plot of this practical integrator, and in this case you see it will be like this, and you can see it will work like act like a low pass filter, because at low frequency you have higher gain, at higher frequency after some frequency your gain decreases, and this corresponding frequency is known as cutoff frequency. If we do the actual plot look like this. It will be almost the actual plot look like this, and at this point you have the cutoff frequency, which is 3 dB below. That is the actual plot. It is 3 dB. That line is the actual plot, and that is known as asymptotic plot.